The chaplain, I should say, I'm Captain Clinton Fellows. U.S. Army Signal Corps, veteran of the Vietnam conflict. As I read my poem, I think you will understand when Catherine comes up why we switched the order. Last year I read, and either you invited me back because you thought it was pretty good, or you want me to keep coming back until I get it right. He went off to war one day. He was a young thing, a real cool thing, a finger-popping smooth thing, who went off to war one day. He was a carefree one, a sharecropper son one, a school-learned one who went off to war one day. He was a young officer, an immature but gentle man, a man of untested faith who went off to war one day. He saw men wounded, he saw men die. He lived with survivor's guilt because he went off to war one day. He went off to war as a boy. He came home as a man, sadder, leaner, some say meaner, because he went off to war one day. He heard no victory song. He saw no parades. He felt no great joy when he came home from war one day. Each Veterans Day, he gets thanked for his service, family, friends, and strangers, because he came home from war one day. It all reminds him that war is a bad dream, that the way of peace is a lesson of war, that there are no real war heroes when he contemplated war one day. Heroes make peace. Heroes lift people up, not shoot them down. Heroes look for common ground when he contemplated war one day. His heroes were the mothers, sisters, sweethearts, and others, those who waited, cried, and prayed, hearts that burned with fear that he would come home from war one day, that he would not come home from war one day. He bowed his head and silently prayed, let there be peace instead. Let us break bread together and be fed, when he contemplated war one day. What a price a man must pay for God and country and patriotism to be celebrated on Veterans Day because he went off to war one day. After all is said and done, his faith, hope, and charity have not perished. With gratitude, he has survived and persisted, though he went off to war one day.
Good afternoon, everyone. To our veterans, we celebrate you today for your service to our country. Whether you served in times of war and conflict, or whether you served in times of what we call peace, when you gave of yourself in service to others, there were always those who loved you, who wondered about you, and who waited for your return. This poem honors you, our veterans, but it honors you through the eyes of those who loved and supported you through the years. Some are sent to serve, others are left to wonder. It doesn't take long to go away, to leave. 10 seconds for a car to drive away. 4 for a plane to lift off the runway. A ship 3 miles out where the sun meets the horizon simply drops out of view. It's heartbreaking to watch for those who are left to wonder. We who stand in love and wait for you who are sent to serve wonder about your fate. What lies ahead in that new place? Will you be well? Will you be safe? Will you be whole? What will happen at your new base? Your messages they come soon. Letters, tapes, a few phone calls, one after the other, but they are never enough. Another one is always wanted, and even with them, we wonder. We worry about conflict, skirmishes, firefights, bombings, terrorists. By the time the reports come, they may be days-old news, but we hope and we wonder. When we hear about loss, the next casualty count, someone we know, hometown youth, a cousin, a classmate, we grieve, we pray. But we remember that day when you stood in the doorway smiling, and hope that wherever you are today, you have reason to smile. We wonder and we pray. Time passes, it always does, but now not quickly enough. Many come home, but we know some don't, and for them we grieve. Whether the loss was yesterday or 60 or more years ago, love and loss never go away. With humility, we hope, we pray. And when you walk through that doorway again, astonishing it is to hold you in another kind of wonder, the wonder of love. Now we can trade heartbreak for jubilation. You've come home. On this Veterans Day, we are here to celebrate you, to honor your lives, your sacrifice, your service. From those who are left to wonder, we offer the gift of love and gratitude. We ask God's gentle blessing for you who were sent to serve.